Hello, YouTube! This is Remi, the Phoenix, playing Remi's Roguelike Rampage. Today we are in a very, I wouldn't say overly popular, because not many people actually play it. However, a lot of people have heard about it. And this is Dwarf Fortress, Slaves of Armok, God of Blood. Chapter 2, Dwarf Fortress. Yeah. So, a little bit about Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is one of the most in-depth in detailed roguelikes. Now, in this, there are two different types of play, but first you have to generate a world, and that is one thing I like. It actually generates a world, not just a dungeon per player. It's a world, and you can re-enter the world. So, and I would say it's taking a page out of Minecraft's book with generating world, but I'm 100% positive this game came first. But without any more further ado, we will create a world, and I will explain some stuff as we go along. This is the alpha of Dwarf Fortress. Blah de blah. You can support it. Bay 12 games. Um, Google search Dwarf Fortress or Bay 12 games, and you will find it. Now, this game does have really intensive lag spikes, even for good computers, but my audio should be fine, and that's all really that's needed. Let's see, so we're gonna go ahead and continue. Now, our world size, I'm gonna go ahead and leave medium, alright? Our history, we are going to have a medium history. Number of civilizations is going to be high. Now, there is a double-edged sword with this. True, you get more good civilizations that come along with trade routes, but you also get a lot of more bad civilizations, which means goblins. Goblins you don't want; they raid your dwarves. Max number of sites, which is the sites. I believe it's the sites that have already been claimed by other factions in the game. We're gonna go low. Not very low, just low. Number of beasts we're going to leave as a medium. Natural savagery we're going to go to low just so... Actually, no, we're going to go... No, we'll keep it at low. Just so we don't have that hard of a time. Because this is truly a game that is difficult. It's a game you cannot win. You just get a little better each time. Mineral occurrence, we're going to go with everywhere just to make it easy on us. And we're going to go ahead and hit Y to go. And you can see on the right-hand side there, it is generating the world. That is the continent, I believe. And you can see on the left, now it is generating all the time stuff. So we're in the year 30-something, 40-something now. And it has historical figures, deaths, and events. Now, an event can be as little as little Jimmy found a monster in a cave, or a civilization uprooted because a volcano erupted and moved halfway across the world. So they can be little things, they can be big things. They can even be a guy traveled from one city to another with a chair of mythical creation or something. I don't know. The events in this game are weird. But as you can see, I've installed a texture pack. It is not all ASCII art. The texture packs in this game are relatively simplistic. So they just makes it a little bit easier to kind of instantly delegate what is what. And you can probably hear me, I'm popping my knuckles right now. Sorry about that. This is a keyboard-intensive game. You hardly ever use your mouse. In fact, it's kind of sacrilege. Kind of. I mean, I'll use my mouse a little bit, but it's really almost impossible to use your mouse overly much. You get used to using the keyboard in this game. So I believe we can stop it at any time, right? If we want to. So I can stop it right now at age 140, right? No, it's still going. Okay, we stopped it at age 143, sorry. And I can hit U to use the world as it currently exists, C to continue, A to abort, which takes me back to the home screen. And I can move around with my arrow keys. As you can see, we got a blinking X there, and I can move around and we can see our world. This is our, this is like the world map. It's the most zoomed out you can get. No, I don't believe it's the most zoomed out, but it's about as far zoomed out as you can discernibly make any detail. And you can see roads, you can see settlements, you can see special things. Like I think this is a, yes, Dark Goblin Fortress of Estukson, no, Estusong? Yeah, sure. Tundra of Imprisonment. The names in this game are really fun. But yeah, Dark Goblin Fortress. So there are a bunch of things, and we can see here is a Dwarven Mountain Halls of Ketkul, the Remarkable Axe. So we're going to go ahead and hit C to continue, and there's going to be a little bit of lag here as it actually generates out and saves all the... Uh, oh no, wait, I hit C to continue, didn't I? No, 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 no. Stop it. Just stop it. We're going to hit U to use. Now it's going to go ahead and take out all the areas. The ever-seeing planes have been created. Alright, now we are going to hit enter to accept the world, and it is offloading the units, which is basically it's saving all the files of where everything is. And as soon as it's done, it's not going to drop us into the game. It's going to go back to the front page select, I believe, as soon as it finishes. And I am, for those of you who have played this game, and for those of you who haven't, I am using a mod called the Lazy Noob Pack, which basically just gives me better shortcuts. That's all I'm using it for. I'm not using it... I turned off aquifers just to make it simpler on finding a level, although I'm not sure if it worked. I don't know. But Lazy Noob Pack just lets you manage and look at your dwarves easier, instead of having to go through each and every one of them. Especially when you get a big keep, that's what you want to do. So, now that we have a world, we have the new option to start playing. And you can either do Dwarf Fortress, which is the main play of the game. You can do Adventurer, which is a traditional you are a hero and you go out in the lands and adventure. There is currently no objective, really. I mean, you can get objectives from villagers, but there's no end scenario in this this option. So, I mean, there's no end scenario in Dwarf Fortress either. And then there's Legends, which basically just tells you all the history of a region. And you can see up there we have Naman Nam A Nun Ninu? Namaninu. Namaninu. I don't know. But Region 1. So we're going to play Dwarf Fortress, the actual Dwarf Fortress, right? And now we come to a screen to where we are going to settle a keep. And you can see we have 3 different maps. The one all the way to the left is local, the one in the middle is regional, and the one on the far right is world. The world one is as zoomed out of a world as you can possibly get. The region one is about the same scale as the other map I was showing you, and the local one is pretty much zoomed out, but as you can see, the flashing X on the region and the world is where we are. But you can't see that there's a keep on the region, but you can see down in the... I can use my mouse. You can see down here, this is the edge of a keep. So if we move around, and I think it takes like 4 or 5 or something like that to move over. Each button press moves over one in the region, but I think it takes like 4 or 5 of them to move over in the world. But one thing you want is you don't want to, over here, this area, it gives you information. You want, clay is good, some soil is good. You want shallow metals, plural, and you want deep metals, plural. But since we put them at everywhere, that shouldn't be too hard to come by. You also want an area that gives you water, specifically fresh water. Salt water is okay too, but you want fresh water especially. And you would like to have the temperature as not freezing, or if it is freezing, you want it to be seasonal, and you want trees at least a little bit. And let's see, other vegetation is, you want some, but you can go down in the caves, so it's not as important. And you want your surroundings to be calm. However, I will show you actually. If we go over here, it looks like there are some haunted areas, right? Yeah. So we have surroundings sinister, and we have, let's see what's down here. Yeah, it's still sinister. Man, it's an evil looking place. So as you can see, there are other civilizations, and the civilization caravans that you get, which means another city will send around caravans to trade with you, are restricted to the continent that you are on, I believe. Do not quote me on that. I just believe it. So now, as you saw, heard me say in the first one, where you can use the number pad to move around, and some games have an alternative to use UMKH. This is where UMKH actually comes in play. So I see clay, some soil, shallow metals, deep metals, and actually we're going to look at the other ones too. In the area we have dwarves, humans, elves, and goblins. It's fairly good. Uh, our civilization, those are all the different civilizations we can pick from. So we have, and you can see on the world map, they'll highlight blue as to where they are location-wise. I don't really care about location, I'm all about name. The Savage Roads, Bolt of Faces, interesting. Clasp of Gripping, makes sense. Unbridled Tattoo Metal, or Tattooed Metal, that one's kind of funny. Outrageous Fence, that one is epic. Outrageous Fence. Silver of Champions, Pick of Boots, okay. Papers of Drink, Pick of Stops, Puzzling Ceiling, I like that one. Tame Masons of Beards, and the Helm of Shell. I like the Puzzling Ceiling. We gotta go from the Puzzling Ceiling. So we're gonna pick that, and there's no, you just leave it highlighted. Now we can switch to our relative elevation, which actually doesn't tell you that much. This tells you a little bit more, which is the cliff indicator. Sevens are high cliffs, and you basically don't want to have an area that has extreme cliffs unless it's like just nicking your area. You just don't, you want things to be relatively okay, right? So I think we're going to move up to the top left of this area. So if I hit tab again, you can see the green spot in the local area is where we are. So if I hit U, we can move up. And then if I hit K, we can move over. And I think we'll have that river run pretty much straight through us. We have woodlands, and the temperature is warm. It is a freshwater marsh, tropical freshwater marsh, which is good. The stream is called Pool of Grains. Not an overall exciting name, but okay. The Everseeing Plants, the Land of Murk, is, I think the Overseeing Plants is the area we're in, and the Land of Murk is the continent. And so now you have the chance to embark, but we're not going to do that. We are going to, let's see, where is it? No? Um, Maybe it is embark. Yeah, yeah, this is where we want to embark. Yeah, okay, good. So now we get to prepare to embark, and I'm going to switch positions here. And keep in mind, this is just the setup of each game. This is how detailed the setup is. The detail in the gameplay is astounding. So, this is another thing that comes with Lazy Noob Pack. It allows us for a, like, baseline starter pack. So, right now we have a couple different ones. You can either play now, which I don't recommend because it gives you a bunch of random dwarfs and sometimes you don't get what you need. Prepare for your journey carefully, which is usually the only two options are play now and prepare for your journey carefully, I think. Uh, so usually I pick prepare for your journey carefully, but to speed this along, we're going to go with the Mayday Custom. The only other one I tend to use is either the Mayday Custom or the Lazy Noob Pack. These two down here are fine, but I usually prefer to have. I usually go Mayday Custom just because it comes with a cook. But you can easily make one of these guys a cook. So we'll go Lazy Noob. But you get two miners, a woodcutter, a mason, a crafter slash broker, which is unusual. And oh no, we're gonna go Mayday Custom. In the Lazy Noob pack, you would get two farmers, but in this one you get two miners, a woodcutter, a mason, a crafter, and a fisher, plus a farmer who is also a cook. So the fisher is an important thing, especially since we have a river coming through us. Um, so we're going to hit enter and prepare to embark. So now we have a list on the left of all of our dwarves. And right now they are all listed as peasants. But if we go over to their skills, and I'm not going to mess with this because the Mayday custom already did it for us. These are all their skills. So this guy is probably going to be our actually, I'm pretty sure he's going to be our master minesman. He is a proficient miner. He has 10 skill points in mining and probably in nothing else. I don't know, he has some in adequate negotiator, novice judge of intent, adequate appraiser. So yeah. And it's not just this guy whoever made this game, I forget his name. Sorry, I should have looked it up before I started. I forgot. It's not that hard to find. You can look it up. But they didn't just put metal crafter and your ranks in metal crafting. They made it so 5 ranks in it means you're just not a metal crafter. But as soon as you put a rank in it, if I could put a rank in it, it would be like novice. And, it's those little details that make this game awesome. So you can go through all your dwarves and see their skills, and you can change them up. And prepare custom, you have to assign all the points. But now we can hit tab and look at our items. And down here, see my mouse? Down here it says 55 points. So we have 55 points left to spend. Now usually, I like to go in and switch because, see, we have 3 war dogs, but we don't have any, oh no, we have 3 of each kind of war dog, right? So they can breed. And we have 3 cats. Cats really, they help kill rodents in your area. You don't need too many cats. But I do like to take 1 cat and make it female. And then you can go down and see what else you got. You got nothing else. Oh no, yeah, you got nothing else. As far as animals go. And that's fine. You, on your journey, quote unquote, over to where you're establishing an area, you gain, which is where we picked out on the map, you pick up some animals. So that's fine. And you can get animals in caravans, and you can hunt for them, and etc., etc. So we have 2 copper picks, dwarven wine, dwarven ale, dwarven beer, dwarven rum, Yay, rum. Um, plump helmets, which are mushrooms that dwarves really like. Cow meat. Coke, which is not the drug, it is a form of coal for burning. Bituminous coal, which is a form of, excuse me, a form of naturally found and formed coal. And copper battle axe, which can also be used down to cut down trees. So, I would like to press the N for new, which means we get to add something to our list. And we are going to add, actually, wait, no. Let's go back, hit escape. How much for something we can breed, like a calf? 101, really? Damn. I was hoping we could get something here. Aha! So we can get a ram. Yeah, let's get a ram. Sounds like a good investment. So now, one ram is 51 points. Now we have 4 points. So I'm going to go over here. We're going to pump up our plump. Actually, no, we're going to hit new. And we're going to go down to seeds. Right, because I want some seeds to start off with. And we're going to get pump helmet spawn. And we're just going to get 4 of them. Okay. So that we'll get into that later. But I'm just doing that to save our asses. Okay, so now we have the choice to embark or choose the name of the fortress and the name of the group. Name of the group is just the name of the group that is migrating over. So hit Shift G, and I like to just sort through random names until we find one that's funny. The Arena of Boards, the Bent Palaces, um, Ship of Sports, Channel of Eveness, Rampart of Insertion, I guess? Wire of Meetings, Fountain of Portals, the Hairy Flag. And as you can see up here, this is what I'm reading. This is apparently it in Dwarvish, and it's always funny to try and pronounce that. The Abbey of Murder. That would be good for the fortress name. The Trust Fences. Polished Arena. Book of Purifying. Glad Fortress. Bottled Towers. The Ardent Flags. The Trampled Mountain. The Static Channel. The Diamond of Chambers. The Paper of Stilling. Blowing Boats. Not gonna comment. Oh, the Infallible Boat. That one's good. Diamonds of Kissing. Okay, that's what our group is going to be named. Diamonds of Kissing. It's not a bad one. All right, and we're going to hit Escape to be done. And then we're going to hit Shift F for our fortress name. Dimplequake. Our name is Dimplequake right off the bat. We have to... Hairy Lenses. Diamond Scarred. Shield, unities, root planks, still roads, pages. Seed mason. Freckle worked. Hammer spun. Dangle lantern. That one wasn't that bad. Tombs drill. Seal lakes. I want something that kind of like has an ominous feel, like all the dwarves are gonna die. Hold wires. Cudgel tick? Cudgel tick. Okay. Growl shields. Lustrous bronze. Tin ink. Urn kin. Ring ore. Bolt. Come on. Give me something. Moisten. Oh, wow. Okay. Murky whip. Die towers, long ropes, bolt sieges, spear fights, rim works. Oh man, I could spend a whole lot of time here. I'm just looking for something kind of ominous. Mirrored fries, crafted taxed, silver drilled, scaled, plant, swallow, swallow helms, wow. Bell golf, rope throats? That kind of sounds like they were being hung. I might have gone with that. Um, cobble tower, or tour, or whatever. Sealing machines. Now see, that just fits, because they were sealing something group. Sealing machines. Alright, it fits. We're gonna pick it just because it fits. So now we're gonna embark. E to embark. And it'll take a while to load this, so I'm gonna take a drink. You have arrived after your long journey into the mountain homes, or from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond. Your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all Los Lemenges. Well, yeah, I'm not going to try and pronounce that again. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance, whether by bolt, plow, or hook provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before winter entombs you, but it is spring now, enough time for you to delve secure lodgings ere the salt water crocodiles get hungry. Oh crap, they're crocodiles. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here, at this place. Inges Zistakad. Sealing machines. Strike the earth. So, this is the main screen of Dwarf Fortress. I'm going to tab out the minimap. The thing on the far right is the minimap. Actually, this is the minimap. The thing on the far right is our depth meter, which is the edge of the screen, excuse me. So I'm going to tab and tab again. So, this is basically our interaction board. It tells us what we're doing. I can't stop burping. This is our what we can view. And I can move around it in the arrow keys, and you can see dark areas, and you can go up and down areas, and da-da-da-da. Okay. So, and I'm not going to bother explaining to you the keyboard manipulation of this game. That is part of learning the game. You want to play this game, learn it yourself. It is a steep learning curve, but you feel damn good when you figure out how to do it. Anyway, so this is our area with the dwarves, right? As you can see, we have, let's see, what is it? It's been so long since I've played this game. No. Oh man, view units, V. There we go. So see, we have a stray horse that is tamed, right there. That is, oh, I'm off. That's this thing, where my X is, right there. And we have this guy up here, right, which is a stray yak bull. Ooh. Which is nice. Now, oh, we also got, what's this guy? A stray ram. That's the one we started with, never mind. So, we have this cart, which is this thing right here. These little 3x3. And it has all our supplies that we brought with us. Now, as you can see, we have dwarves here. This guy, I think, is our mason, which is our stone guy, if you don't know what mason means. This guy is our main miner, right? This guy is our other miner, who is also a metalsmith, apparently, because he has an anvil. This guy is our farmer / cook. This guy is our woodworker, who is also our tree cutter. And this guy is, his costume is the siege engineer, but we're not going to use him for that. He's going to be a full-time fisher, because it is way too early to worry about siege engineers. This guy is going to be important. This guy and this guy are going to be very important, and this guy is going to be semi-important, along with this guy being semi-important. Actually, these two guys are actually quite important early on, but as you get more and more dwarves that do them. My limit is set to 200 dwarves, but we'll see if we ever get there. This guy, I forget what he is, but we can check out what he is. We can go to View Unit. He's a crafts dwarves. No job, adequate gem cutter, skilled stone crafter, and skilled bone carver. Yes, he went to carving school. Could open his own flesh to carve on his own bones. It's dedication. So, as you can see, this stuff here, right, where my mouse is sand. It's probably some kind of red sand or orange sand or something. It is what is known as the soil, right? This green stuff is grass. The tan stuff is kind of beaten down grass where stone's showing through. The red stuff is grass that's turned a different color. There's trees, that's bushes. These little arrows are going upness and downness, which means if we go up a level, now they're facing the other way, so they're downness arrows. Now they're upness arrows. These things are stone, right? They're a certain kind of stone. These things are a certain kind of, I want to say ore, but technically I don't think all the ones that have this pattern are ores, even though they act like ores. Because ore is a technical definition, it's like a mineral versus a rock. So, anyway, to speed lecture over, this is water. Um, let's see. Oh no, I don't want to scroll that. Let's see. The 7 is telling you how deep it is, which means I can go 1, 2, oh no, I can't. Maybe 7 isn't telling you what deep it is. I don't know. I'm pretty sure 7 is telling you how deep it is. Anyway, we are going to start our fortress over here because this is where I see the most resources. So, we are going to hit D for designate, and we are going to designate away a large little path, 2 by 2, here. Bam! Oh, that didn't designate. No, that's chop down trees, that's why. No, I want D for mine. Yeah, D stands for mine. That's dwarfs for you. So we're gonna take out all that with our miners, right? And let's see, I think we need to take down the up ramps. So we hit Z for remove stairs / ramps, and we just get rid of all that. So that is also there. And the game won't do anything until I unpause it. Okay, so I can set up a whole bunch of commands, unpause it, and just let them work. We are also going to designate an area for tree choppage, and we are going to designate quite a wide area for this. And if you hit, what is it? Maybe it's tab? No. No? No. What is it? There was some way to make it go over faster, but I forget what it is. Anyway, we are going to pretty much designate this whole entire area here. Bam! All those trees that just blacked out, they're going to get chopped. Right? And actually, I should designate an area in here to be cleared out. Let's clear out... yeah, let's do this. And then we can go ahead and do that. Okay. And everybody else, if they have a passive task that they can be doing, they will go and do it. So, the fisherman will go off and fish. Go figure. But the mason, the farmer, and the crafter will not do anything because they have not been assigned to do anything. And we really can't do anything about that at the moment, but soon we will. So I'm going to hit space to allow them to get to work, and as you can see, our two mining dwarfs are going off. Our woodcutter is already cutting down wood, and he's just leaving it there because he doesn't have any place to put it right now. We'll get to that. But you can see our miners are, you know, they're mining. They're doing their stuff. They're going kind of slow because they're just low-level miners, although the one guy is really proficient at it, but he doesn't have a lot of experience. As you can see, some things have dropped. Like this is a mined out area, but you still get this little stone here. You got this stone here. So you can see if we, I think it's, oh, did I accidentally hit tab? I guess I did. If we do, what is it? It's not view units. It's, what the, okay, look. So, if we look at this, this is limonite, and this is tetrahedrite. Both of those can be smelted into something, I believe. This is rock salt, also rock salt, and bowite. We got some bowite here. I believe bowite. I forget what if bowite is used for something good. Loamy sand wall. Fancy. Okay, let's see what this rock is down here. We got a rough tetrahedrite wall. And right next to my X, right there, to the left, is a gem. A bloodstone cluster. Ooh. So I'm going to actually go ahead and designate it that they take out this bloodstone cluster just because I want to see if they can get it. And dwarves literally have no plan. If you want them to take something out in a specific manner, you have to meticulously tell them one by one how you want it done, because they will just go at it random and haphazardly. Dwarves are very, in this game, they are very, very, I'm not going to say stupid, but they are not very intelligent. I'll put it that way. Dwarves do what they're told as long as they can until they get either hungry or they're not drunk enough. That's the essential thing. Because dwarves don't drink anything unless they're, other than alcohol, unless they're sick. It's the only time they drink water or injured. It's bad. It's very bad. It's a bad thing. Okay, bam. We got this room dug out, right? And it has been so long since I've played this game, so I'm going about it really bad. But we can now tell them to dig another room, right? So we're going to go ahead and bam, and then bam. We're going to push it right up against this, okay? Bam. And actually, let's make it a little bit wider back here. Okay. Bang. And let's go ahead and put a kitchen and stuff back here. I believe the kitchen and stuff can fit back here because I think they're only 3 by 3s. Yeah, 3 by 3s should be able to fit in here. And you know what? We can actually take out most of this area. I kind of want a little divider in there. So now I can let them get back to work. And they will, because, you know, they'll like get halfway done with this room up here that they're digging now, and then move down to this one, not finish this one, then move back to this one to finish it, and then go take a break and come back and finish this one. Yeah. And they might even almost completely finish this one, except for this little block right here. That's it. It's the only thing that's not finished in that room, and then they'll go to this one. Doesn't make any sense. I know. It's really bad. So, actually, we have some kind of boar, it looks like, up here. A wild boar sow. So, that's nothing to worry about, I don't think. I don't think it'll become hostile. It'll probably stay away from us. But some things can be hostile, and you have to watch out for that, because you can die right off the bat in this roguelike. So I'm going to go ahead and hit P for pile, and hit R for refuse. Refuse, for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like your garbage. But it's not just garbage, it's like the guts of a fish, even though dwarves will eat guts of a fish. It's your dead stuff that you don't know what to do with, because miasma comes off of dead stuff and that makes things not good. So we are going to make a refuse pile here, okay? And that is just for refuse. And that's to keep refuse out of the keep, which is what we're mining out. And if refuse builds up in the keep, you get miasma, and it makes the dwarves sick and unhappy, and you want your dwarves happy. Or else they'll go on a murdering rampage. Yes, I know. Uh, Dwarves, go figure. And the cats keep rodents out of your keep, which is good, because rodents in your keep makes dwarves unhappy. However, that causes dead things in your keep, which then have to be transferred outside so that miasma doesn't happen. And I actually think miasma happens outside, it just dissipates like pretty much instantly. Inside it doesn't dissipate as fast. And wow, they actually finished one room before they did another. That is amazing. Holy crap. Okay, so now we're going to hit P again, and we're going to do it for wood. So we're going to get a wood stockpile going on over here. Pretty big one. Bam! And then we're going to do one for stone, which is S. And it's pretty much going to be the rest of the room in stone. And hit escape. And all those stones will stay exactly where they are because they are already on the stone area. But now all these dwarves who don't have anything to do will come in and start hauling stone into that area. And there is no rhyme or reason, seemingly, as to where they put the stone. However, once they're done moving all the stone that there is to move at the time that the command was given, it will seem like it's in an ordered fashion, which is weird. It's just weird. Anyway, and bituminous coal counts as a stone, and that's what this dwarf here is carrying. Bituminous coal. As you can see, our dwarves are no longer mining, although they're coming back now to mine. That is because they needed a break for either food or drink. And, our miner dwarves are hauling things. This is something we do not want. We want them to focus on mining. Because they are always going to be miners. They don't need to do anything else. So, V for view units. And this lazy noob pack can help with this stuff. But I'm going to do it in here, just so I'm not switching back and forth between those screens. And actually, I should probably wrap up this episode pretty soon, so we'll wrap it up after this. I know we haven't gotten too far, but... so, we want to go to, I think it's... What is it? B? Is it labor? No. No, it's... What is it? Inventory, general... No, maybe it's P. Yeah, it's P and then L for labor. Okay. So right now he has mining on, but he also has hauling on. We don't want that. So, we are turning all of that off. And other jobs, we're going to turn his cleaning off as well. So he is a pure miner. Actually, he has some health on too. Now he's a pure miner. Right? And then we're going to go to this miner and turn all the same stuff off. Oh, he also has metalsmithing, but we'll get a more competent metalsmither probably later on. So we don't need him. So now, they will finish the job that they were doing. That's fine. but then they will go right back to mining, which is what we want. We want them to mine. So, to wrap this up, this is Dwarf Fortress. We will have more episodes on this specific roguelike game. Now, I know what you're saying. I was making a big deal in the last episode about roguelike games not fitting the typical criteria. But, as you noticed, I made the criteria a game that is typically top-down, and I kind of stressed the point that they should almost always be top-down unless they are specifically going for the platformer or another type game. So I let games like Rogue Legacy and Spelunky slip on that one, but usually top down. They should be random generated. This generated its own world, right? And this is top down, but this generated its own world. It's I'm gonna dig some more stuff. Or no, we're gonna build stuff. No, I'll do that later. Um, we can have them dig. That's what D stands for. D doesn't stand for mine. D stands for dig, damn it. And it actually stands for dig, damn it. Oh, that's what I want. And then this. And the next point was randomly generated. Yeah, this generated its own world. It is top-down. The next point was the fact that it is round turn-based. Now, this doesn't look turn-based, but it actually is. Every tick, so to speak, using kind of Minecraft language, but it's computer language, so I can use it. Every tick that happens, every tile is being updated if it has an update, right? We struck lignite. Struck lignite. And I can pause this game, and I believe there's actually a button that you can go one step at a time. I don't know what it is because I just pause and unpause, but it is a turn-based game. Each dwarf has their turn. They know their next step. Then everything happens at once, and then they know their next step. So, despite the fact that you're not individually controlling the dwarves, it is a turn-based strategy, and if you were to go into the adventurer mode, it would be much like Stone Stoop or Angband. Stone Stoop? Stone Soup or Angband, any of the roguelikes we've played so far, in that manner. So it meets all three of those criteria, and it doesn't have a win scenario. It is impossible to win this game. You can technically live in this game and keep your fortress going forever. You can capture every single, well, almost every single monster that comes in contact with you, including dragons, and use them to fight off other things. But it is not winnable. This game is not a game that lets you win. You will never win. There will never be a win scenario. And that needs to be stressed. You only get better at losing in this game. And that is what makes this game such a good roguelike. It's gonna be kind of boring at the start here, but it'll pick up. And this is one of those games that literally, here, we can go to R right now. Oh no, recent reports, damn. If there was fighting, we could look at the reports. But it's one of those games where you'll see something happen, and let's say, there's a lizard man here, and we have our axemen come out and they fight. It won't just be like they come and meet and then, they flash red and then one dies. It'll be one runs in, they might trade 3 blows, but you wouldn't know it because whoever starts losing, actually it's your dwarf will follow the order until he dies, so If it's the dwarf losing, he just dies, and then the monster continues in. If it's the monster losing, the monster immediately turns and runs, and then you get this whole chase scene, and it's quite amusing. And then you get to go and read the reports, and it's like this guy chopped through the flesh and bone and severed a tendon and blew open an artery, and now that his leg is all the way across the land, and then 3 days later, a kid is seen playing with the foot of a lizard man. You're like, I remember that battle, and it's just this amalgamation of very detailed things, and you are their god, and you are, well, you're not their god, but you are their overseer. It's really an interesting game. I highly recommend it. We are going to do more episodes on it. However, it is not going to be an ongoing series. This series will eventually move on to other games. It might come back to it, but my roguelike Rampage is going to be kind of like whenever I feel like playing a roguelike. And it can be any roguelike. I have only played free downloadable roguelikes so far. You can get any of these games for free. Roguelike, Stone Soup, Powder, even though we didn't play it, Powder is free. Dwarf Fortress, Angband. I believe almost all, if not most, Angband variants are free. So play classic roguelikes. I know that there are really new roguelikes, Rogue Legacy, uh, even that glitch one that I for some reason can't remember the name. But there are recent roguelikes, and they are quite popular. And I love that roguelikes are becoming more popular, but I wish people would be into the typical roguelikes that started with ASCII art and are just beautiful things in the fact that they make your imagination work as part of the game. Um, so yeah, I've been Remi. This has been Dwarf Fortress in Remi's roguelike Rampage, perhaps the hardest roguelike I have ever played. Uh, I've never made a fortress that has stood up for very long. We've stood up to raids, but once I get down in the caves and I meet Beast of Legend or whatever they're called, nah. Or I get a vampire. Yeah, there are vampires. Um, but yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.